ASEAN COVID-19 Table 17 December 2021. ASEAN as a whole has reported more than 14.5 million COVID-19 cases. Of this, more than 610,000 are active cases as of December 17. Ministry of Health says Cambodia's Omicron patient 0 is not yet displaying symptoms, but urges Cambodians to get booster shots. Or Van Dien, Secretary of State and spokesperson of the Ministry of Health, says that, so far, Cambodia's first Omicron case is not displaying any symptoms of the mutated variant of COVID-19, but urges Cambodians to get vaccinated. Cambodia, France laud growing bilateral cooperation. The Kingdom of Cambodia and the French Republic have expressed their satisfaction with the growing relations and cooperation. Complacent and nonchalant, Cambodia's vaccination rates see no major uptick despite first Omicron case. After the country reported its first Omicron case, instead of the expected rush of people to get their jabs, Vietnam's border provinces tighten control after Cambodia records first Omicron variant case. Vietnam's border provinces in the Siu Long, Mekong Delta have tightened pandemic prevention measures at the border with Cambodia, which has recorded its first case of the new Omicron coronavirus variant. Cambodia urges people across the country to be vaccinated against COVID-19 with basic doses and booster doses. Ministry of Health has issued a notification on the promotion of COVID-19 vaccination, comprising the basic dose for those who are unvaccinated and booster dose for all people in the capital and the 25 provinces. Cambodia to examine possibility of developing and expanding existing railways into high-speed railways. The Prime Minister of Cambodia Hun Sen has confirmed that Cambodia will examine the possibility of developing existing railways into high-speed railways and expanding railway connections to other potential provinces to reduce traffic accidents and increase transportation capacity. Lieutenant General Hun Manith and high-level Russian inter-institutional delegation met to strengthen and expand security and military ties. Lieutenant General Hun Manith, Director General of the General Department of Research and Intelligence, Ministry of National Defense, led the third bilateral meeting with the interagency body of the Russian Federation. Lieutenant General Hun Manith meets with Secretary of the Security Council of the Russian Federation. Military cooperation discussed. Lieutenant General Hun Manith, Deputy Commander of the Royal Cambodian Armed Forces, Commander of the Army, met with Mr. Nikolai Patrushev, Secretary of the Security Council of the Russian Federation. Results of the cabinet meeting yesterday. Hun Sen, Prime Minister of Cambodia, chaired a meeting of the Council of Ministers yesterday. Fully vaccinated Cambodians entering Vietnam now need only 3 days self-quarantine. Fully vaccinated foreign arrivals with negative COVID-19 test results will only need to self-quarantine at home or places of accommodation for 3 days upon entry into Vietnam by air. Cambodia prepares to engage Myanmar as US threatens new measures against junta. The United States is considering new measures to pressure the Myanmar junta to return to a democratic trajectory, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Wednesday. 2 from Cambodia tested positive for COVID-19 in Thailand, as Omicron cases rise to 8. After a lull for several days where no one from Cambodia was detected to be COVID-19 positive in Thailand, 2 from Cambodia were among the 20 imported cases found to be COVID-19 positive. Thai Tourism Ministry unveils portal to assist visitors. Thailand has launched a new tourism website, aiming to make travel to the country easier for the 8 to 15 million tourists expected to visit next year. Casino in Sihanoukville closed down over alleged confinement and torture. Pre-Sihanouk Provincial Administration has closed down a casino in Sihanoukville for allegedly confining and torturing people. Thailand and Cambodia to discuss reopening borders along Sa Keo. Thai officials plan to hold talks with their counterparts in Cambodia to discuss reopening the land borders between the two countries. Khoika and Hamka hold annual reception 2021. The Korea International Cooperation Agency, Khoika, and the Cambodia Korea Alumni Association, KAMKA, held the annual reception 2021 at Sofitel Phnom Penh Phakethra on December 15. 2 senior Kampong Chnang police officers arrested for encroaching on flooded forest land in Tonle Sap Lake. Anti-corruption body has apprehended 2 senior police officers in Kampong Chnang province for encroaching on flooded forest land in Tonle Sap Lake. Soccer Rainsy split gives CPP upper hand for polls. amid the political rift between the former opposition leaders Kem Sokha and Sam Rainsy, after the reactivation of the opposition Candlelight Party, CP, the ruling Cambodian People's Party, CPP, said this internal conflict will benefit it for the upcoming elections. PM announces his travel plans to visit 4 nations in January. Prime Minister Hun Sen will travel to at least 4 nations in January next year to boost friendship, foreign cooperation, trade, economic ties, tourism and investment. Thai Foreign Minister in town for bilateral talks. At the invitation of Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn, Thai Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Don Pramudwinai is paying an official visit to Cambodia and is co-chairing, with Sokhonn, the 11th meeting of the Joint Commission for Bilateral Cooperation between Cambodia and Thailand from yesterday until 18 December. SR vendors seek light at tunnel's end. The events leading up to Siem Reap declaring its lockdowns, amongst the strictest in the kingdom, began in the markets, with the first positive COVID-19 cases being reported amongst the vendors. China-Cambodia Cultural Exchange promises mutual growth and support. The first China-Cambodia Cultural Exchange Forum and Cultural Exchange Network of Cambodia and China, CENCC, was launched yesterday in Beijing. Media given guidelines for good reporting. Cambodia's major news agencies and the Chinese media issued a number of joint proposals to continue to uphold the correct guidance of public opinion and to disseminate the voice of the government quickly in order to counter criminal forces for the sake of the rule of law. Cambodia and Russia to ink MOU to strengthen army cooperation. Cambodia and Russia will ink a memorandum of understanding next year to foster further army strengthening and cooperation between the two countries. CMAC animal demoners get boost from Apopo. The Cambodian Mine Action Center, CMAC, and Apopo, a registered Belgian non-governmental organization and U.S. non-profit which trains southern giant pouched rats to detect landmines and tuberculosis, entered an agreement of cooperation to boost demoning activities in Cambodia using animal detection systems. Thai princess continues to help Khmer students. More than 2,000 Cambodian students have benefited from the generous scholarship program established by Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Chakrisirinthorn of Thailand. Cambodian students have had the opportunity to study in Thailand since the program was established in 2005. Former CNRP councillor regrets Facebook post. Phnom Penh Municipal Court yesterday continued the hearing in absentia of a criminal case of exiled former opposition party leader Sam Rainsy and 20 former CNRP lawmakers and activists who are accused of threatening social order and of attempting to overthrow the government. Siem Reap, first province to combat human trafficking. Siem Reap has been at the forefront to combat human trafficking in Cambodia. Until today it has not faltered in its mission to educate, prevent, protect, rescue, and prosecute those involved. New SR tourism drive unveiled. The latest destination campaign for Siem Reap, Cambodia's cultural heart and gateway to its crown jewel Angkor, was unveiled during the inaugural Angkor International Festival of the Arts. Almost 40 under probe over state land grabs. Kampong Chnang provincial authorities are investigating almost 40 people, including land brokers, who allegedly cleared over 700 hectares of state forest land in the province. AirAsia to resume flights to Phnom Penh on January 26, 2022. AirAsia Malaysia, flight code Alaska, is set to resume flights between Kuala Lumpur and Phnom Penh, Cambodia, beginning January 26, 2022.